Hi, this is Tucker, and welcome to the Simpler Stocks video for Tuesday, August the 23rd. I am sitting in for Chris today. He's traveling. Those of you that are members, I do things a little bit differently, and that is I put both the free and the members video on one for the members. That way you only need to watch one video. So if you're listening to the free, you can just go over to the members video and you'll get everything by just watching the one video. I like to look at the indexes first, and we've been watching the S&P 500 pretty closely here recently. As you can see, price has touched the voodoo line at 2182, 11 out of the last 12 days. So price is trading very tightly here and really hasn't given us really any indication to which direction it really wants to go. We have a squeeze, but there's no momentum either way. So we're just going to have to wait and see what happens here. But eventually it'll move one way or the other. Like Chris, I like to look at the transportation index also. I'll bring that up. And it too has really been trading sideways for the last several weeks. We need it to break down underneath this fire line here. And that fire line is at 7742.85. So if we're going to see a reversal, we need to see price trade underneath that level. The other index that I like to look at is the Semiconductor Index. And if you're in TradeStation, it's $SOX. And it has been on a tear since late June and really not showing any signs of it flattening out at this point. And the reason I follow the Semiconductor Index is it tends to lead the other markets because their products are very early in the product and manufacturing cycle. So they're the first ones that'll see if there's been a slowdown yet. So with that said, when you're trading, if you're looking to go long, you may want to consider looking at some high-tech stocks, semiconductor stocks like that. So it's been raining in Austin for about 10 days now, and it was raining Saturday morning. I was looking at the newspaper, which I get a digital copy, and they also add what I call the Reader's Digest version of USA Today to the daily paper. So let me show you some facts that I came across that I found interesting. So I know Chris talks about the Dow Transports a lot, but here's some actual facts. So the Dow Transports is trading 15% below their all-time high, which was set back in December 2014. There was a study done in December of 2014 by the U.S. Department of Transportation, and their Bureau of Transportation Statistics reported that trend changes of the transportation sector between 1979 and 2013 led trend changes in the economy by an average of approximately 4 months. So that's why we want to continue watching the transportation index. It could be a leading indicator, just like the semiconductor one. So during that same period when the Dow transports are off by 15%, the S&P has gained 4.4%. This is a very wide divergence. It's very rare and it's significant. So that's why we keep watching these indexes closely, because they're going to give us an indication sooner or later of which direction that we really need to be trading. Another interesting stat in the USA Today article was total revenue at publicly traded corporations reached a peak in 2014 and has been declining ever since. Corporate profits have dropped. Earnings per share of the S&P 500 companies over the past 12 months were 18% lower than they were 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the S&P price to earnings ratio was reported at below 19. That comparable ratio today is above 25. So you can see the price to earnings ratio continues to increase and is very high at this time. So something else you want to keep an eye on. With that said, what should we do trading wise? As you know, I'm a longer term trader than Chris. My trades are days and sometimes weeks. So if you're a trend trader, you want to look for something that is really trending. I'm currently in Lulu as a long trade. So you can see it's been on a nice trend since the middle of May. Continues trending up, squeeze fired off today on the daily charts. I get asked this question a lot. Can you be long and short at the same time? Yes, you can, but obviously in different symbols. So I'm long in Lulu. One of the short trades I'm in now is DO. And you see it's had a nice move down since the middle of July. And you can see the multi-time frame indicator is all red and the momentum on the squeeze is on the negative side. We've been in this trade for a while. We actually got in this trade at this price level here, just a little bit above $20. And you can see it continues to move down. And our target is going to be this green line, which is 1833. Yelp is another long trade. And you can see it's been in a nice uptrend. It actually triggered today, but price pulled back. So if you wanted to get into this trade on the pullback, you could do that. And there's a lot of talk of Yelp being a potential buyout. So just be aware of that. You definitely want to have a pretty tight stop. Speaking of buyouts, MDVN, there's been several companies looking at them. And over the weekend, Pfizer announced that they put in an offer to buy them. And Trend Trading System was in a trade, it's been in a trade for a while. Let's see, we entered the breakout trade on July 21st, and it's been slowly moving up. There's been a lot of talk about several companies looking at purchasing them, and so that happened today, and that trade ended up being over 40%, which is huge, very uncommon, but we were in 3 positions and took full advantage of that. Our target was around, I think it's around 69.40, 69.50. And with that overnight gap, we have our exit orders in place and we got out roughly around 80.50 today. The high was 80.62, low was 80.36. So that doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it's a nice little bonus. Another potential short trade would be off a CMG. If you don't have the trend trading system, what you want to do is look for the 100 MA is the one that we use for the direction that we trade. You can see the 100 MA turn red, meaning it turned down back in December of last year. There's quite a bit of support here, and our entry is going to be just underneath all that support. As a matter of fact, our entry price on this breakout trade is going to be 384.47. We use a stop limit order because we're setting them up when the markets close. So the max slippage on that is 377.77. We're going to put our stop at 397.51. Target is 350.96. Risk reward ratio on that is 2.56. And we're going to risk 1.5% on that trade. Hopefully this has been helpful. Have a great evening, and we'll see you on the next video.